Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So, okay, good. Most of you are attending the sessions regularly and consistently. I appreciate that. Okay. In the last session, we discussed regarding the chapter reproduction, and we also discussed regarding some questions on gametogenesis, that is, oogenesis and spermatogenesis. Then today we are going to discuss regarding the other concept like menstruation cycle in females, as well as the fertilization event. First fertilization we will study later, that is on Saturday. Okay. Fine. As we discussed, the spermatogenesis is the hormonal control process. Like that only, oogenesis also is the hormonal control process, guys. So hypothalamus in our brain, it got stimulated and it produced gonadotrophin hormone. So this GnRH, what we call gonadotrophin hormone, is there, no? So it stimulates the anterior lobe of pituitary. So in pituitary, we have two lobes. One is posterior lobe, the other is anterior lobe. So the gonadotrophin hormone stimulates, means it pinches the anterior lobe of pituitary to get active. So ಅದು active ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ this anterior lobe of pituitary ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? It produces two hormones, guys. The first one is follicle stimulating hormone. So when it produces follicle stimulating hormone, as the name suggests, follicle stimulating hormone, so it stimulates the formation of follicles in the female reproductive system, right? So as the follicle stimulating hormone increases, follicles go on forming and they go on growing and they develop. Next, so after that, as on the other hand, anterior lobe of pituitary also produces LH, that is luteinizing hormone. When this luteinizing hormone reaches to peak, so when the level of LH increases, it ensures the breakdown of Graafian follicle. So the breakdown of Graafian follicle releases oocyte. Then when the Graafian follicle breaks down, that will convert into corpus luteum, what we say. So that corpus luteum will secrete a hormone which is called as estrogen. Then, so as luteinizing hormone increases, Graafian follicle will release the oocyte, which is called as ovulation. After ovulation, it releases the progesterone. So estrogen and progesterone levels go on increasing. When estrogen level increases, it negatively influences on follicle stimulating hormone. So that is, it negatively impacts andre when estrogen level increases, the follicle stimulating hormone decreases, its level decreases. Once its level decreases, the formation of follicles will decrease. So like this, there will be a negative impact of estrogen on FSH as well as LH, that is luteinizing hormone. So this estrogen and progesterone, they influence the uterus, means they will take care of the uterus, or in Kannada we will call it as garbha kosha. So there what happens, the uterus lining anta en heltivi, so that uterus lining will be prepared by these hormones to get ready to welcome the implanted or the zygote or the egg. Okay, so if implantation occurs, if fusion of gametes occurs, if implantation occurs, so that implanted zygote should get all the nutrients, all the nourishment. So for that, the uterine level will become thick with blood vessels as well as nutrients. This will be done by these hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone. So this is regarding the hormonal role in oogenesis. I hope this is clear. Is it clear? Yes, guys? Chat with me, otherwise speak up. Okay. So, Anvita, I sent you the answer sheet. Did you get? Because I did not get the delivery report in the mail ID. So, just message me. Did you get the corrected answer sheet? Did you get the sheet? Just check it once, because delivery mail update, I did not get delivery mail update. Okay. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡು ಆಯ್ತಾ. So hypothalamus, gonadotrophin hormone, anterior lobe of pituitary. Please draw this flow chart. So it will help you to remember while writing the theoretical exams, that is theoretical answers, and also in CET as well as NEET also. Please note it down. Once you are done, please let me know. So I believe you all, I trust you all, so that I will I will give you time to note down. So don't utilize it for your any other work. Please note down this flow chart. Once you are done, please tell me in the chat box. Okay, Anvita, I will check into it. If I did not get, I again mail you to send. Please send it again. Okay, don't mind. I corrected it. I will just check it and resend. Draw this flow chart, all of you. The heading is hormonal role in oogenesis. Okay, Komala. What about others? All of you completed? Okay. Anvita completed. Netravati, Priyanka completed. What about others? Manju N, Nagalambika, then Jyoti. Manikantha is here. No. Okay. Okay, good. Fine. So let me proceed with the next slide, guys. Menstrual cycle. The usual cycle, the monthly cycle, which we all face, the usually female faces it. Okay. So the female reproductive system passes through a regularly monthly sequential event, which is called as menstrual cycle. It is a sequential event which occurs between 28 days or 22 to 26 days. So what actually happens? So our oogenesis happen in every woman or in every female. So we know that oogenesis started in us when we were in our mother's womb. So at the puberty level, it starts to release, that is ovulation starts, the release of an egg. So every time egg is released, it will be it waits for the fertilization. It waits for the sperm to enter in and fuse with the ova or an egg. So that is why prior to that, our uterus will prepare itself for the implantation. If the fertilization does not occur, if there is no fusion of male and female gamete, then what happens? Then what happens to that prior preparation of the uterus? That is nothing but a menstrual cycle. So during this period, changes takes place in ovary as well as in the endometrium of uterus. Endometrium is one of the layer in our uterus, ಅಥವಾ ಗರ್ಭಕೋಶದ one layer ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ one ನಿಮಿಷ. So whatever you are here seeing, no, menstruation, this is a menstrual cycle. This is a ovulation cycle. So ovulation cycle ಯಾವಾಗ start ಆಗತ್ತೆ? First, second, third, fourth. Especially fifth day, our menstrual cycle will end. Means our bleeding will usually end on the fifth day. Okay. So after fifth day, considering first day in the 11th to 14th days, and 12th day in the usually ovulation starts. Again, there is a formation of the follicles. There is a for growth and development of follicles starts, and ovulation, that is release of new egg for upcoming month occurs. ಆ cycle ಗೆ ovulation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. This we will study later. Now, see the uterus, guys. So what actually happens in the uterus during our menstruation? So uterus is a site of menstruation. Very important. Sentence ತುಂಬಾ easy ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. But site of menstruation ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ the usual answer what we get from the student is ovary ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. No. So the site of menstruation ಎಲ್ಲಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ uterus ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಗರ್ಭಕೋಶ. So our uterus consists of 3 layers of tissue, guys. 3 layer tissue ಅನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. So the outer layer is called as perimetrium. Okay. The middle layer is called myometrium. This is a myometrium. And the inner layer is called as endometrium. So inner layer ide alva, this inner layer is again divided into 2 layers. Inner layer endometrium. Endometrium le ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ 2 layers ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು stratum basalis ಅಂತ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು stratum functionalis ಅಂತ. Okay, stratum basalis. The one more is stratum functionalis. ಈ stratum functionalis ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಿದೆ? The inner layer of the endometrium. Remember, endometrium is an inner layer. The inner layer of endometrium is stratum functionalis. So this stratum functionalis, it will usually shed during our menstruation cycle. Shed andre adu thick agiratte alva. The wall will be thickened due to blood vessels, due to the nutrients. So that will shed andre adu savibeku. Means the uterus should be again come to the original shape and size. Okay, if implantation aglila, if fertilization aglila andre, that swollen or that developed wall, that is stratum functionalis, should shed. So that shedding of stratum functionalis leads to bleeding. So how bleeding occurs? It is due to the shedding of this stratum functionalis in the uterus of us, guys. Okay, let me proceed further. Yes. So when we consider the menstrual cycle is divided into 4 phases actually. The first one is follicular phase. As the name suggests, follicular phase andre, there the follicles will be forming. The follicles will be growing and developing. So here you can see developing egg anta. Ovulation phase alli enagatte, it is concentrated only on the uterus. The uterine wall thickening agate, especially the thickening of endometrium, that is inner layer of uterus. Next, menstrual phase andre, so the what is that? Egg is released. So egg enagate, it travels, it comes and travels through this fallopian tube. So then it will come near the uterus. If fertilization will not occur, it will come to the uterus. So that uterus, it will get to know that no fertilization occurred. So that inner layer has to shed. Yav layer? Stratum functionalis. Adu endometrium na inner layer agide. So that phase, shedding of that layer, it is called as menstrual phase, which what I can say, which we will get to know by the bleeding. That is, blood oozes out from the vagina, right? Endometrium sheds. Then luteal phase anta. So luteal phase, egg is released, it will come to the uterus. Then last one is menstrual cycle. Follicular phase, ovulation phase, luteal phase, menstrual phase. So we have 4 phases. So during ovulation phase and during luteal phase especially, we face certain symptoms. So it usually occurs in every female. The cramps you will get, right? So the leg cramps, kaalu novu agodu, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ನೋವು ಆಗೋದು, So the stomach pain and mood swings, and you feel to crave for eating so something. So you usually feel to eat chocolates, or like ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತರ cravings ಆಗ್ತವೆ. So that usually happens in the luteal phase because the hormonal level will be changing. That hormonal level will be increasing during the luteal phase. So adadmele the menstrual phase occurs. Why actually menstrual phase? Or the usual question I will get from my 10th standard students as well as some of the PU students who usually ask the questions. So ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, why you will get the cramps, why you will get the stomach pains usually. So see guys, so here the egg has to be there, no? ಅದು ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗ್ತಿರತ್ತೆ ಎಗ್ಗು? Egg will be getting ready to get implanted, to get fertilized, right? So that is why the uterus lining will be swollen ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, will be well established to nourish that zygote. So that well established blood vessel has to be shedded, right? So that process is quite painful, which causes certain cramps in us, and due to also certain hormonal imbalance also we will get the cramps and mood swings. So this is regarding the menstrual cycle and menstrual phases. So here you can see what actually happens in the menstrual cycle. Before that, please let me know whether this concept is understood for you all. Artha aita idu? I think this is completed in your college, but if you have any other doubts, you can ask me freely. Yes, guys. Priyanka responded. What about others? Fine, thank you. So let us watch the video regarding it. One nimisha. Okay. Before that, one question I will ask. I will play the videos, no, related to biology, so that whether the videos are clear, whether the parts will be visible for you all. Okay. So whether the videos will be fit into your screen, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಗೆ ಫಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಅಥವಾ ತುಂಬಾ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತಾ? Whether it fits to screen or it will be visible in a small portion. Okay. This is a follicular phase. The red color one is estrogen. One nimisha. Yeah. So the red color one is there, no? It is estrogen, the red dot. The yellow color one is there, no? It is progesterone. And this is a first phase, that is a follicular phase. So first ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, progesterone ಮತ್ತೆ estrogen both are in a low levels, right? Observe it. So now follicle stimulating hormone is secreted, which is represented by the line. Okay, na? So this follicle stimulating hormone, it initiates the formation of 5 to 20 follicles, as you can see, the follicles in various developmental stages. Estrogen will be released by this corpus albicans usually. So when estrogen level increases and the dominant follicle will be selected. So here estrogen level increase aitu illi red color alva. So the estrogen level decrease and the follicle stimulating hormone enaitu kadame aitu because the estrogen level got increased. So this makes the follicle or a Graafian follicle, formation of a Graafian or a matured Graafian follicle. At the same time, this is a uterus. So perimetrium ide, ameli inner in thicken ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, you can see here. So this layer is nothing but a endometrium, ಒಳಗಿನ layer ಅಲ್ವಾ? Next. Now what is happening? Luteinizing hormone bantali. So luteinizing hormone, which is represented by what? Which is represented by the blue color light, right? So which is represented by blue color light. So when the luteinizing hormone will come and it increases, the ovulation occurs. Ovulation andre the Graafian follicle will break and release the oocyte, which is in a secondary oocyte condition. See the breaking of a egg. So here, see the egg is traveling through the fallopian tube. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ನೀಟಾಗಿರೋ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, and here you can see the fallopian tube has a hair-like structure, guys. So this hair-like structure helps the movement of the ova or a egg to reach the uterus. You can see now. Ovulation occurs. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. Yes, this is a neat based question. So ovulation occur adaga, which hormone is in a higher level? Can anyone tell me through the chat? Jyoti, that's why I asked you, larger kansatta, sanada kansatta anta. Now if you tell means I can't present the new screen now. Okay. So tell me now, ovulation start agide alva. So ovulation start adaga, which hormone is in a high level? Anvita, okay, Anvita said LH, okay. So luteinizing hormone, stimulating hormone, this is a stimulating hormone, purple color, it is a lower level. So luteinizing hormone in a higher level. Okay, next. Jyoti, is it clear now? Please let me know. Fine. Luteal phase anta baratte. So in luteal phase what happens? See that luteinizing hormone kadame agatte, ಮತ್ತೆ FSH ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Right. So in the luteinizing hormone, corpus luteum is formed. The Graafian follicle in the oocyte ಏನು? Just a minute. Yes. So here what happens, guys? Oocyte is released in the ovulation. Now luteinizing hormone is come down, the level is down, and the follicle stimulating hormone level is down. Now again there is increase in estrogen and progesterone, which makes that Graafian follicle, which is there without oocyte, no? So that will be converted into corpus luteum, which secretes this progesterone and estrogen. See here, the thickening. See here, this thickening is there. No, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ thickening ಅಲ್ವಾ? So this thickening is nothing but the endometrium. Here what is there? Here egg is there. Okay. So see the blood vessels, how they are grown. So if the egg is not fertilized, the blood oozes out. Corpus luteum breaks down ಆಗತ್ತೆ, estrogen level ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, then the endometrial level, lining sheds and menstruation cycle begins. So like this, menstruation cycle occurs in human beings, that is in female. Okay. And now, okay. I hope this concept is understood. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ? So in this concept, the questions will be mainly asked based on the this one, hormones. Based on the hormones. Yav hormone kadame irutte, yav hormone jaasti irutte. That's why I showed you the graph. Okay. Shall I proceed to the next concept? Yes or no? Yeah. So the next one is, the next episode here is the fertilization in human beings. Fertilization, right? So the fertilization means what? The union of male gamete with the female gamete, where haploid sperm fuses with haploid ovum to form diploid zygote. That process is called as fertilization. Where it occurs? Where is the location? Fallopian tube. Which is the location of menstruation? Yes, anyone? Which is the location of menstruation? Name the location of menstruation. Be fast.
Uterus, ma'am.
Very good.
Uterus.
Very good. So Nangalambika answered it, Anvita answered it. It is a uterus, right? But the fertilization occurs in fallopian tube. Avagle nodidri neevu. I showed you the traveling of egg through the fallopian tube. Adralli cilia ittu. So there actually the fertilization occurs. So duration yavaga, it occurs within 24 hours of ovulation. Ovulation agi 24 hours olagadene, if the sperm enters and succeeds in fusing with the egg, then the fertilization occurs. Here you can see that. See the sperm entering the ova. Right? Yes. Let us proceed further. Yes. What happens during fertilization in humans? So during sexual intercourse, during the copulation of male and female, actually in first ejaculation or the ejaculation of a male produces 300 million sperms. So a seminally, male in a seminally, ಎಷ್ಟು sperms ಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ? 300 million sperms will be introduced into the vagina of a female. Right? Soon after the ovulation, the ovum is drawn into fallopian tube by peristaltic contractions by cilia. Very important here. So ಈಗ ovulation agide. So ovulation agi egg release agide. That is in the form of a secondary oocyte condition ide. ಯಾವ stage ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ? Secondary oocyte stage ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಈ secondary oocyte stage ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವ egg, it should come to the fallopian tube. So there yava hormones, which like no hormone will take this function. It will only happen by peristaltic contraction by cilia, that is by hair-like structures which are present in the female reproductive system, fallopian tube alli, right? So layers of ovum anta ide. So before the sperm fuses with the egg, it has to cross, like it has to cross several layers here. So this is a big challenge for a sperm. Which sperm succeeds in crossing all these layers of the egg, that sperm will fuse with the egg nucleus or a female nucleus. Now, let us study the layers of an egg. So ovum is surrounded by a gelatinous zona pellucida. So outer layer enide illi, this is the ovum or a nucleus, right? So this is surrounded by a gelatinous jelly-like layer which is called zona pellucida. Zona pellucida anno layer in the cover agide. Then and corona radiata. So this is a corona radiata, what you are seeing, this one. Okay, corona radiata. And cumulus oophorus, this one, or vitelline membrane also we can call. So now a sperm has to penetrate through these two layers. So to penetrate through these two layers, a sperm has to undergo. This sperm is there, no? Sperm will be having the acrosome, nucleus and all. So this sperm has to undergo certain changes physiologically, physically regarding its structure, as well as biologically. So it is both together, it is called physiologically. The sperm has to go certain changes. So that changes is called as, that change will be happened to only one sperm. So ಯಾವ sperm ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ change ಆಗತ್ತೋ, so ಆ ರೀತಿ change ಗೆ we will call it as capacitation. Capacitation of that sperm, or we can simply call capacity of that sperm. So which sperm has a capacity to change physiologically, that sperm will penetrate into the egg. Okay, so that process is called as capacitation, or we can call it as sperm activation. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ sperm activation ಅಥವಾ capacitation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Let us proceed further. So here we have one video related to the fertilization, how actually the changes occur during the fertilization anta. Just a minute. Yeah. Observe it carefully. Your fertilization. In humans, fertilization is internal, andre as fertilization occurs inside the female body. Insemination, the process of release of sperms into the vagina, is called as insemination, right? So insemination is occurring there. This is the vagina. So many sperms will die. Okay, so will die on the journey because of the acidic environment of vagina. See there. This is a cervix, right? Uterus. Then sperms are entering into the, here egg is coming. Here sperms are entering into the fallopian tube. All right. Yes. So there, yes, secondary oocyte is there. Secondary oocyte condition. The sperms are here. So fertilization occurs. That is, during fertilization, the sperms has to penetrate these all three layers. Right. Yeah. Here you can see the sperm has to cross corona radiata. This is a layer, corona radiata, and zona pellucida. First, it has to cross corona radiata and zona pellucida. So this is a zona pellucida layer. So when any sperm touches this layer, that sperm will undergo physiological changes. You can see that. See there, what happens actually, the acrosome is there, no? The acrosomal part of the sperm will be having certain enzymes. So that enzymes will be released to the zona pellucida, which dissolves the layer, which dissolves that zona pellucida layer. Watch to it. Next. The sperm enters through the zona pellucida. Only one sperm entered it, okay? The sperm plasma membrane fuses with the plasma membrane of an egg. Now, sperm plasma membrane should fuse with the plasma membrane of an egg. You can see now. See that. So during that, when the sperm fuses with the plasma membrane of an egg, you can see the secondary oocyte is there, no? This will undergo mitotic division. So mitotic division, this mitotic division releases one polar body and one egg. ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನು ಎಗ್ಗಿನ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಒಂದಿತ್ತು ಎರಡಾಯ್ತದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೋಲಾರ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಪ್ರೋನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಇದು ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಪ್ರೋನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. These are cortical granules. Okay. Next. So the zona pellucida hardens and prevents polyspermy. So yavaga, if one sperm succeeds to cross the plasma membrane of an egg, so related to that, ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ the zona pellucida will be hardened. ಆ ಲೇಯರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. So that the other sperms are not entered in. It prevents polyspermy. Now see, the sperm entered through the plasma membrane and it released male pronucleus. So fusion of male and female pronuclei takes place, which forms the zygote. So there is a fusion of nucleus ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ it is called as karyogamy or amphimixis, right? Zygote is formed now, which is a fertilized ovum. So we may see identical twins. Avali javli anta heltivi alva. So who are similar in every way. So these identical twins ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ, these are formed by the same egg. So zygote ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆ zygote cleavage ಆಗತ್ತೆ. So that zygote cleavage ಆದ್ರೆ identical twins ಅಂತಾರೆ. So in some mothers you can see that non-identical twins ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಅವಳಿ ಜವಳಿನೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, but they are not similar. So it occurs by two different eggs. So mothers ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, or in the female there will be a release of two eggs which are fertilized by two sperms. Okay, so this fertilization by two sperms gives rise to the non-identical twins. So non-identical twins ಗೆ fraternal twins ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Yes. So this is about the fertilization concept. Understood all of you? Yes. Any doubt? Okay. Yes. Next, we have that is fertilization or significance of fertilization. What actually happens? Why fertilization should occur? Restoration of diploidy. As the organism is diploid, so when a haploid male gamete fuses with haploid female gamete, again the diploid condition will be restored. Next, recombination of the genes. So we can say that we will be hearing that you are same like your father, you look like your mother, but we are not exactly same. Why? Because it is due to the recombination of a genes. So heredity will be there, but we will be having certain variations, certain differences, which makes us to adapt to the present environment. Okay, so that is called as recombination of genes. Then introduction of sperm centriole. So when we study the sperm, structure of the sperm, we might come across two centrioles, proximal centriole and distal centriole. So introduction of sperm centriole. Next, activation of the ovum, activation of the egg, then increase in metabolic activity of the ovum. Whatever the process occur, it increases the activity of the ovum, that is release of hormones, changing in structure and function of certain layers and all. Next, establishes a definite polarity in the ovum. A definite polarity and a definite kind of charges, a definite kind of function in the ovum will be established. It is due to the fertilization. So this is regarding the significance of fertilization. Understood all of you? Arthaita? So here, please write down. Yes. Please write down this layers of ovum. Put the heading fertilization in human and I will mark certain points here. Yes. So write down this. After that, I will tell you. Please write down and let me know soon. Okay, completed all of you? Okay. Next. So in this slide, you just write down this point. Peristatic is very important. Next, layers of ovum. Completed? Okay. Priyanka completed. Anvita completed. What about others? Jyoti completed. Netravati. Nagalambika. Yes, what about others? Okay, Nagini. Fine. Next we have significance of fertilization. Please note it down. All the points you note down. Significance of fertilization. So when they ask the significance of fertilization in theory, you have to explain each point. Okay. Significance of fertilization. Okay. Komala, they completed. Netravati completed. Anvita completed. Priyanka completed. What about others? Nagalambika completed. Jyoti, Manju, and Nagini. Okay. So in today's session, we learned regarding menstruation cycle, fertilization, as well as significance of fertilization. In the next session, we will learn regarding post-fertilization events. Okay. So on Saturday, we will complete this chapter. Then from next Monday, we will discuss multiple choice questions on it. Let me end up the session here. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.